Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you, beautiful viewer, and I'm super pumped for today's reading. Before I get into what the reading is about and the instructions for the piles here, I just wanted to thank those of you guys who have been with this channel for quite some time. I really appreciate your support here, and to all my new viewers, thank you so much. I'm so blessed, so grateful, and absolutely love you guys. So today's reading, we will be taking a look at who or what is calling for your attention right here, right now. This is a timeless reading, and Spirit wants to communicate what should you be focusing on, or what is calling for your attention, what needs to be addressed, and we'll see what this message is all about. So I pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at them. We'll pull some tarot and we'll get into your message. So pick from these three options here. We have option number 1 with the lepidolite pointed tower for pick number 1. Pick number 2 is this piece of howlite here. And for pick number 3, we have the pink opalite pointed tower as well. So feel free to pause the video, and then your options will be in the description box, and in the pinned comment you will find the timestamp. It will take you directly to your pick. Keep in mind that this is a reading in which you're needing to call on your intuition to see if it is resonating. So if you want to come up with a specific phrase, word, color, item, object, person, place, thing, something that will come up throughout your reading to confirm indeed this is your message, then that will be the best way for you to confirm that you have picked the right pile. If you're drawn to more than one, could just mean different aspects of your current situation in your life which is needing addressing or calling upon you to take a look at. So without further ado, take a look at these three, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, my beautiful pile 1. You picked the lepidolite pointed tower for pile number 1. Let us get into your reading. Pre-shuffled oracle cards right here, and have not looked at them. So like I mentioned in the beginning, come up with a person, place, thing, item, object, color, phrase, something that can confirm indeed this is your pile. This way you can know that this message was indeed meant for you, unless of course you can lean on your intuition. And if that's the case, then if this is resonating for you, you'll know this message is meant to find you. All right, so if you're drawn to more than one pile, it could mean that there's multiple messages in different aspects of your situation or your life needing you to kind of take a look at. But today's message is specifically what is calling for your attention, or who is calling for your attention energetically around you at this time. This is a timeless reading, so let us see what Spirit wants to communicate. We have the witch doctor with wisdom. We have Uranus here. It says, the 7th planet of the solar system, this giant planet is sometimes visible to the naked eye in a very dark sky. Seen through a telescope, it has a beautiful blue color and rings. Its axis of rotation is sharply tilted relative to its orbit, and therefore gives the impression of rolling, while the other planets spin like tops. Okay. We have the threshold. Wow. And this is 45, or the number 9. And we have sap of the moon planet here with 41, or 5. We have answer the call, explore, travel, and live. We have the adventure, responsibility, and expectations. The volcano erupting there in the background. The adventure. We have divine guidance. Beautiful. The frog and a dragonfly. And we have ancestors of exile. Looks kind of like a rhinoceros in this rock. Okay. 2 of these abstract watercolor cards. So couple and another couple embracing. Interesting. Okay. Let's pull some tarot before we get into your message. Pile number 1. Spirit, clear and concise message here for beautiful pile number 1. What is the message for pile number 1? Thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect me as I channel this message. And number 1, for the greatest and highest good in delivering this message. And thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy at this time. Spirit is wanting all cards to be read in the upright position for this reading. We have the Lovers, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we also have the Ace of Wands. And I'm feeling one more card here. Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Cups. Okay. What is needing your attention? Or who or what is calling? Well, beautiful pile number 1. It's quite clear to me that there is a situation here in which you're feeling you don't have a choice in the matter, and I feel like it is in a connection with another person here. But the answer is you actually do have a choice here, and your choice is that there is somebody around you here who is wanting to share with you, explore with you, give and receive love with you. I think you're fixated or focused on maybe a situation here that's maybe another person. Okay, maybe there is one specific person here in which you've been pouring a lot of your effort and energy into. And I feel like there's another energy here around you that you might not have been seeing very clearly here. And I feel like this person has been kind of around you during dark times. And Spirit is saying that there is a wisdom in you allowing yourself to move away or break away from any situation here in which you're feeling left out for the time being. Because there is a situation around you with somebody else or someone here who is supportive of you. Now, I don't necessarily know if this is a romantic person so much. I do feel like there is a situation here in which you might have been left out in the cold or needing to detach yourself from here and move away from in order for you to release yourself from any sort of strife. I feel like Spirit is saying you're kind of being pushed in this direction, and you're going to have a new beginning here. I also feel like what Spirit is saying is that despite what is going on here, that might be kind of feeling painful or left out in the cold by somebody who might not be showing up, that I feel like what Spirit is really saying is that trust there is a divine plan here for things to pick up and for there to be a reunion or an energy here of coming together at some point. But what Spirit's wanting you to focus on is forward movement here with the people around you that have been by your side through dark periods of time. Yeah, so I feel like what Spirit is really saying is there's a situation here in which maybe you're investing a lot of your thoughts around, and you're in a state of trying to figure out or mentally be stuck in a situation here in which is quite exhausting, and it's with somebody here who is needing to sort through something of their own, or at least you feel like you're not really understanding what is going on here. And Spirit is saying there's a lot of options around you specifically. I feel there is somebody here who is around you that is willing to be a safe place for you and provide you with what it is exactly you're needing at this time for healing. I do feel like there is a new beginning, emotional new beginning, and something that is going to drive you forward here in a very positive way, but we're needing to not be stagnant at this point in time and almost release ourselves from any sort of mental thoughts that are holding us to a situation in which we might feel captive or might feel like we're having to stay mentally held back. So I feel like the breakthrough here is right around the corner. And yeah, the breakthrough is right around the corner. Although if you are stagnant here, it delays things. And I feel like you're having to actively make a decision here that I don't feel like you want to, or you don't think you have a choice here in making a decision. For some of you guys could be deciding between two people, and one person here is not available or not engaging or not making you feel warm and fuzzy here because they are kind of removed here. And so Spirit is saying for you to move forward, move forward, because I do feel like there is a sense of, desire here for somebody who is not quite maybe wanting to move forward at this time due to, I feel there is something here that is needing to be resolved on their end. And I do feel like this is the breakthrough here that this connection or this situation is calling for, is for you to take action. And now I'm getting another message here from Spirit quite loud. For some of you guys have been in a situationship, I feel here, with somebody, and maybe you're wanting something more, but you're not quite sure how to begin. I feel like it is something fated here. So you've been really held back, not really knowing what to do, not really knowing how to move forward. And I feel like there is something here with the Wheel of Fortune and Answer the Call and this divine guidance through your dreams, your intuition, or your knowing that you're supposed to be allowing yourself to be open-hearted and receive love and give love and come together, either reconcile with this person or express to them how you're feeling here. But I feel like potentially you've been withdrawn or held back. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you might be in a period of separation, or at least not at the state of which you're wanting this connection to be at, due to, I feel it's you kind of being held back here. And I do feel like it's on the verge of you having to completely open yourself up here, and move away from any sort of mindset that's been holding you back here, a limitation. I feel like there is a knowing or an understanding here, and Spirit is saying that you do have divine guidance here. So that's a message for some of you guys as well. I don't know which camp you're kind of falling into, but either which way, there is a decision needing to be made towards somebody here who is open and receptive, but I don't think you've moved towards that energy for both camps here. Okay. And again, they don't necessarily have to be romantic so much. In the first scenario I mentioned here, I feel like it is somebody here who is kind of wanting to help you throughout your healing process here in resolving whatever situation you came out of that I feel you're kind of attached to. And for the second scenario here, I feel like you've been trying to shut out or not allow yourself to open up to someone romantically here that I feel due to a heart blockage with the green, all the green I see here, I feel like something is not moving, allowing you to fully be open in your heart space. So things aren't moving in the direction that they were supposed to move, which I feel has maybe put you in a period of time out with this person. And I do feel like this person is slowly moving away. And I do feel like you might have been trying to focus on how or yourself in a situation here, but I feel like the energy here hasn't really resulted in much. I feel like there is blockage here. I know those are two mixed energies here that I'm reading. I am reading for the collective, so I'm not sure which one you guys are resonating with, but for the one of you guys who understand you've been held back or have some sort of heart space blockage or inability to fully express and allow yourself to receive and give, I feel like you are on the verge of something here, although I do feel like an energy is slowly moving away. So there's something here that's really calling to you to act, because I feel like timing is in play and there is a chance here at missing an opportunity. Yeah, and I feel like the choice can be to remain friends, or the choice can mean to explore something further. There's options here that you're having to get very clear about. Interesting that we have the green and then we have the blue and then we also have the brown. I don't know, maybe there is a third party type situation for some of you guys. You're wrapped up in here, okay? But what's calling for your attention right now, pile number one, doesn't matter what can't be fallen. I feel there is a need to act and move forward with someone who is receptive to you, and allow yourself to break away from anything that is mentally holding you back. And if it is another connection, allow yourself the opportunity to heal by detaching, and moving forward. And I do feel like there is a possibility of reconciliation here at some point in time, very close indeed. But unless you detach and allow yourself to move forward, I don't, I see that kind of slowing things down here. And if you are in a connection here in which you have not been fully allowing yourselves to open up to someone here who I feel is very receptive and has been very healing for you and maybe very giving, know that spirit is kind of telling you that there is something very guided and fated about this. And I think you understand or know here with the witch doctor that this is something that is going to bring a lot of healing to yourself, and healing in a way that you weren't able to bring to yourself, your heart space. I feel like there is a need calling out to you, which is your heart space, wanting to be healed, wanting to experience something here in which I don't think you have been able to up until now in this sort of way that is allowing your heart to heal. Okay, that's specifically for the second scenario I mentioned here. I feel there is a block, and you might be feeling kind of out in the cold here, because I do feel like this person is slowly pulling away or moving on here, because of maybe the lack of movement or your inability to express yourself or indicate you wanting something, what it is you want. Because I don't think you've been very clear. I think you've been very muddled, and you've been muddled in your own mind. So how could you be clear with someone else? But I do feel like there's a desire to have a new beginning with this person. I feel like you are quite interested. If there isn't love, there's definitely attraction and passion here for this person. But there is a need to act and to release yourself from any sort of mental thoughts that are holding you back here. All right, so let's pull just a few more cards here so we can get final messages for pile number one. What needs your attention? So for pile number one, Spirit, what is calling out to pile number one? Who or what? And what needs their attention right now? Thank you so much. Final words. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Empress. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands. And I'm going to pull one more. We have the Queen of Wands. Yes. Okay. So Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy here. Empress is Taurus energy. So there's definitely, okay, so because we were getting those two messages here. For the first camp, I feel like somebody is needing to really break away from a situation here in which things were potentially not progressing with an individual here because of, for whatever reason, they weren't communicating or moving forward, and somebody felt really stuck. So Spirit is saying to focus on self, to really lay any sort of boundaries to move forward here from a situation that might be holding you back, especially if it was one that was imbalanced and not providing an equal give and take here of time, energy, effort, and you know, could be emotional expression even here that was being disproportionate. And I do feel like, you know, this could be because somebody is still being defensive. Maybe somebody is still fighting this connection and maybe really trying to focus on themselves here. Although I do feel like that could be somebody who, you know, is definitely really attracted to you, although they are trying to, yeah, they're just defensive. They're trying to maintain their position of whatever it is right now that they're focused on. So Spirit is wanting you to move away. Now, if you're resonating with the second scenario that I mentioned here, I feel like you are potentially dealing with somebody here who is focusing on investing in themselves at this time because of the fact that you've been defensive or fighting them when it comes to this connection. They feel there's a sense of imbalanced give and take here, and this person is wanting to move forward and go after what it is that they want, specifically bring in and manifest what they want for themselves here. There's a focus on self, and this person could have put boundaries here in regards to this connection specifically. I do feel like there is a heavy love attraction here to this person. This could be somebody you could potentially see yourself marrying. Okay, I am also feeling that third party for some of you guys again coming up here. Okay, could be the mother of your child, or you know, the mother of the family here, and then the other woman is kind of what I'm seeing here. So there's a need to kind of choose the person here in which is being receptive and being open and being kind and allowing you to, you know, have this equal distribution of give and take. And I feel like there's maybe one here where in which you're kind of defending or wanting to fight for, but I feel like whatever it is that you are doing, it shouldn't be difficult. It should be very easy. Okay, so Spirit is wanting you to know that there is divine guidance here. You're being guided towards the easier path. Whatever is meant for you, you don't need to fight for. It doesn't need to feel hard and difficult for you to carry, and it shouldn't be difficult. It should flow. And if someone's making themselves unavailable here, then there is no need to fight or understand or stay stuck. Essentially, that's for all of you guys, okay? There's a need to just go towards what is easier and what is more meant for you at this time, and things could change here depending on, you know, which scenario you're in, because I do feel like there is going to be a breakthrough here, and someone's very close to having a breakthrough, and I do feel like it's somebody who has been held back, somebody who has been not honest with their emotions or feelings, or maybe they weren't really seeing things very clearly here. But I do feel like putting someone in exile, or somebody being exiled, or somebody being removed from a situation, recognizing there are boundaries, recognizing that they, you know, have had the opportunity to choose wisely or and have not, then this will allow them to take a deeper look in identifying and making the right decision for themselves. Okay, because I do feel a lot of heart block in the chakra space here. in the heart chakra space. So this is what I see here. Sorry, it was a mixed bag. You know, that's kind of what happens when you get a lot of different people we're reading for, but I do feel like there is a common thread here in all those situations, which is really to move forward with something that is easier here, rather than, you know, trying to fight and resist something. You know, step forward if you haven't. If you feel it in your heart, it is safe to do so. And if you're trying to make something work with someone who is very held back, it's time to go and focus on the energy around you that is more welcoming and more balanced, and things will sort themselves out. But without this sort of a action, energy gets stagnant. We're seeing the wheel of fortune. Things need to move, energy needs to flow, things needs to happen, and what is meant for you will not pass you by. Okay, if something is destined for you, that is exactly what's happening. You know, no matter how much we fight or resist here, there's something that is calling to you. And I feel like in either scenario, you know, with the wisdom and the witch doctor, that there needs to be healing in any aspect. There's healing here, and you'll know which people bring you healing. Okay, so I feel like there's a need to be pulled towards what is bringing you healing, what feels calming, what feels right, not what feels like you're having to fight or resist, or, you know, fight or stay kind of in a state of held backness. Yeah, so this is what I see here. I hope this resonated. Let me know in the comments. This is an interesting one. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 2. You picked the Howlite Pointed Tower for pile number 2. Let's get into your reading. We pre-shuffled the oracles. I've not looked at them. We'll pull some tarot as well. And we're asking Spirit to take a look at what is calling for your attention, or who is calling for your attention right here, right now. What should you be addressing, or what should you really be doing here in regards to what is calling for you? And if you are not certain whether you're tapping into the right pile, I do ask that you come up with a person, place, thing, phrase, color, object, whatever it is that's going to confirm to you indeed this is your pile, so that you can get confirmation from Spirit. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, it could be different aspects of your situation / different things that are calling out to you at this time, needing you to take a look at. So only if you're called to those piles. Let us take a look at pile number 2 and see what Spirit wants to communicate. So we have Rana Rudu with loyalty, beautiful sunflowers, and a little dog. Okay, so loyalty. We have Vega. So Vega is the brightest star in the Lyra constellation, belonging to the white star group, and emits a sparkling white light, sometimes tinged with blue, and forms the summer triangle with Deneb and Altair. It is surrounded by a disk of very hot dust, which is the residue of collisions between asteroids. Okay. We have the Forest, 36, or the number 9. And we have Chiron, or Chiron, I guess. Number 11. Chiron. Okay, number 11. We have family connections, respect, people, and kinship. We have the Enchanter, deception and trickery. And we have Elixir of Life. We have Ancestor of Memory. We have this oracle card here, water painting abstract kind of card here with a doctor. Okay, we have this one here. Someone kind of sitting at a bar. And this one here, someone playing a guitar. Interesting. All right, so let's pull some tarot as well. Spirit, clear and concise for pile number 2. What is this message? Who or what is calling for their attention? clear and concise message for pile number 2. Please protect me as I channel this message. And number 2, for the greatest and highest good. And thank you so, so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. The tarot. We have the Four of Swords, and Spirit's wanting them read upright. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Seven of Cups. And I'm feeling one more card here. We have the Five of Pentacles, bottom of the deck energy. We have the Two of Wands. Now, I'm going to grab the book here for Chiron, because I do feel like it is the heart of the reading here, and there's something that needs to be communicated straight from that guidebook, and I will be right back. All right, beautiful, pile number 2. So the Chiron here, we have wounds, teachings, and paradoxes. So Chiron is a cosmic enigma. In Greek mythology, he is said to be the rejected son of Saturn, who through the pain of abandonment becomes a great teacher and healer. Such is the paradoxical nature of this minor planet. It demonstrates that our pain is a great resource. It will guide us to our deepest purpose if we are able to observe it slowly, gently, and with support. When the Chiron card appears, know that you are being called to deepen the work, to delve into tender parts of yourself that require patience and forgiveness. Victim mentality will get you nowhere. You're past blaming. It's time to let your painful experiences serve as a beacon of light to others. Chiron reminds us that where we've been and where that allows us to go. So, beacon of light, brightest star. I feel like something's happened here to you in a situation, and I do feel it's with a family member or someone who you consider very loyal, a very good friend, a family member, mother, father, brother, sister, or, you know, maybe a spouse or somebody here who you considered a really good friend who I feel has betrayed you, okay? And I do feel like you've been fairly loyal to this person, and you weren't expecting to be betrayed and hurt by this person. And I do feel like maybe there's been a lot of trying to figure out why. I do feel like you're in a state right now of really needing to heal whatever this has left you in this state. But what Spirit is wanting you to know, and what's kind of calling towards you, is more to focus on the healing part of you that allows you to be a guide to other people. Okay, so you could very well be having an opportunity here to be the beacon of light to others who are experiencing similar situations here. And even if you're not outwardly, you know, having to speak your story, it is one of you kind of allowing yourself to overcome a situation in which people around you can see, hey, pile number 2 has gone through, you know, this major situation here, and their ability to pull through and get through a period not knowing, you know, really where they were going, or the result of this, successfully, and still make something here is an inspiration. I feel like this act or this pain has been really really hurtful, okay? So I feel like it might still feel like it's fresh. It might, you know, be something that you're hanging on to here as a memory, and there really is a need for you to release some of this pain. And I feel like a lot of you guys might be releasing, you know, or have been working on releasing a lot of this already. But I think now what Spirit is really wanting you to know, what's calling upon you, is to make the active decision to let the rest of it go, and decide that, you know, you could be choosing all sorts of different things right now in your life, and to make the active choice to choose the one in which is allowing you to free yourself completely of your experience here, and jump into an unknown. Because I feel like maybe, you know, the situation that has happened might be preventing you from, you know, it might be holding you back in some way or doing something here. So if it was a past spouse, it could be you're preventing you from moving into another relationship. Or if it was, a family situation here, it might be preventing you from attending family functions with other people in your life, or it could be preventing you from trusting other people or opening up or something like that, that I feel is still kind of being held back due to an experience here. So we do know that there is still healing, but I feel like you've been focused on really trying to, really peel back the layers in regards to when it comes to this. So the bigger message here is choosing, where you're supposed to be going right now. And I think that's where there's some loss or maybe some sort of needing of guidance, is like, okay, now what, where do I go? And I feel like Spirit is wanting to remind you that you don't have to be actively completely preaching this experience here, that you are this guiding light here, and that this experience is for a purpose here, in which you will be one that others are looking towards or looking to, that have experienced something here in which they're learning from. Okay, so it's kind of shifting that mentality. And yeah, and for those of you guys who might still be, feeling really fresh in the wound or wallowing in the wound, or, know that this is impacting your vibration here. It is impacting what is coming, what you're calling into your own being, what is, what is kind of being called into being around you. So you don't want to call in similar situations or people or circumstances here. So Spirit is asking you to vibrate higher here. And this is why we see this music card here. I feel like there's a need to raise the vibration. Okay, raise the vibration, because although we might not be carrying maybe that thought inside, we might be carrying a hurt or an anger, and anger is the lowest vibration here. So I feel like it's bringing in energies here that I don't think you're actively wanting to bring in, which is resulting in needing more healing, more reflecting here. So I feel there's a need to break out of whatever this is here, okay? Because I do feel like it kind of is repeating in a way, because you might be drawing in more situations, circumstances, or people by keeping the memory alive in some sort of way. So let's say, for example, if it's a family member and now we're removed, and now there's things we might want to do with other family members, but it's much easier to completely detach. Now we're kind of in a saddened state, or sacrificing a piece of what we want to do because of another situation or circumstance. So now we start to build on that anger or that sadness, or giving a part of ourselves that we shouldn't have to, because now someone else is taking control, has control of us in a way that they're dictating what we can do here for our own happiness. So Spirit just really wants you to focus on your own happiness. A lot of you guys, through music and celebration here, will raise your vibration, but allowing yourself to release any sort of memory or thought, because I do feel like you were deceived, or someone was tricking you or being deceptive, and I feel like it made you feel pretty low, and for some of you guys, they could have used you in a way that was really slimy and really made you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's a need for you to actively choose, in all of your decisions, actively choose what's best for you and happiness, to raise a vibration. Okay, despite the backstory of this incident. So if you tend to make a decision based on, but because of what happened here, I cannot do that, or I refuse to do this, or I'm no longer going to do that, or whatever it is, it's kind of now massaging your future state here because of an incident, person, that was very hurtful, that did, create a huge impact here in your life, but it is dictating your future happiness and potential here. And I do see that by you breaking that cycle, by you actively choosing to raise the vibration, you're now being this beacon of light to other people that are around you, seeing you kind of step up in this new vibration, and it is bringing in people with a higher vibration, people with better situations, circumstances I want to share with you. And I feel like this will in turn raise your vibration further, and so on and so forth, because I do feel like there's some energy here of stuckness, okay, repeating in some way that needs to be broken, and that's an active choice, okay? Accept the deception or the trickery or whatever this person did as something in the past. Now, accepting doesn't necessarily mean forgiving, but it's forgiving the situation to allow yourself to let it go so that you're not being prisoner or held back to something here in order for you to choose to raise your vibration going forward. It's easier said than done, because I know if we're hurt, we're guarded, especially by the ones we love, right? Like with loyalty here and family connections, like I feel like this person was like family to you. So, or maybe you were planning on raising a family with this person, or it could very well be a family member here, and it did not, leave you in a good state. I feel like you're really having to heal from this, and you've spent some time. And I think that's the message, is that you've spent quite some time here, but it doesn't feel like it is either moving forward, or it feels like, hey, what else can I do here? I'm trying to heal. I've been healing from this for a while, but it doesn't seem to be moving, or I seem to be still in the same type of a situational energy, although this has happened a while ago, because I do feel it's happened a while ago. And what Spirit is saying is yes, because the vibration is still the same, because the memory is still there as something that's happened. And I mean, we can't really completely erase things from our mind, but what we can do is not allow it to impact how we move forward, and allow ourselves to raise our own vibration. Despite what has happened here, we'll pull in different people and situations, and allow us to build on that, okay? And I do feel it is through celebration and music, allowing yourself to go out and enjoy yourself, because I feel like you might be removed here and not really even wanting to enjoy yourself, or maybe even be around people here because of your experience, and not engage. And that is creating you to feel more cut off, and maybe more lonely and more isolated here. So that can't be a good thing. I mean, yes, if you've gone through a period of isolation, I think it's time for you now to step out of that, okay? Spirit wants you to focus on your happiness, something you want for yourself, and not allow the situation, circumstance to hold you back any further, okay? Because I think it's time now. So let's see what else Spirit is wanting to communicate here as a final message here for beautiful pile number 2. Spirit, what more does pile number 2 need to hear in regards to this situation? What's going to help? Final words for pile number 2 in regards to what is calling for their attention, who or what is calling for their attention right now. Thank you so much. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Magician, and we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, so here is exactly wrapping up this whole message. This is moving away from mental strife. It's a situation in which things were turbulent. Maybe we felt really mentally playing loops about a situation where we didn't feel good at all, and we need to move on to calmer waters here, because we're constantly in a state that's bringing in this low vibe type energy. So Spirit's wanting you to release, move away from what the situation is here, and bring in, by raising your vibration, bring in more high vibrational situations and circumstances, because the Magician's all about manifesting. So you can manifest this future happiness, you can manifest love, you can manifest greatness, you can manifest passions and desire and excitement here. And I do feel like Spirit is wanting you to, with the Page of Swords, be very decisive here, okay? And that means when you're making a decision, okay, because we were seeing the Seven of Cups, which is all about making decisions. The Two of Wands is about choosing wisely here. And the Page of Swords is also being decisive, making the right decision, or at least asking the right questions. Because maybe subconsciously you're choosing to isolate, or choosing, if someone is asking you out, or like I mentioned, that example of maybe there is a opportunity for you to go, to a family event here, and you're kind of defaulting to what you normally default to here, rather than allow yourself to mentally break free from that situation, and really think about, why are you not attending, or why are you saying no, or why are you really think about it, and then think, is this something you really want or desire, to do here? Would you, despite the situation or circumstances happened, and if it is something you want to do, or would normally want to do, but because of the situation you've been held back, then Spirit's wanting you to reconsider. And slowly but surely, that type of an energy will bring in a higher vibrational turn of events here for you, because I feel like you are a little bit stuck here, okay? And allow yourself to enjoy yourself here, because I do feel like vibrationally you are in a state right now that is not bringing in the right people or situations that will propel you into healing fully from something here. And remember, there is a purpose here. You are this beautiful, bright light here that people are using as their guiding light. So I feel like this is all kind of that karmic situation with the Wheel of Fortune that you're having to pull through the other side, break free from that wheel here in order for things to start turning. I do feel that you do, but it starts with you actively making the choices here and really being decisive, and asking yourself the right questions rather than defaulting to maybe what you've been doing in the last little while here, because that's not going to change anything. It's only going to keep you in that same vibration. Okay, so I am sorry you've had to experience something here that has deceived you. It's not good. There's good people and bad people in this world, and I do feel like there's something karmic about this that has led you to experience something here that was very painful, but I do feel like you've had time to really heal, and I feel you want to now just break free from this. I feel you want to, you're just not sure how. And that's the thing, is how do you do it, is now allow yourself to really choose an option, to decide to do things that you wouldn't normally do here, because you've been held back. But maybe you're on autopilot here and you're used to saying no, or you're used to just shutting things out here. So there needs to be an active awakened action here. Be very aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. All right, be in the present moment here as well, and you will find your way through this. Just kind of trust in your own ability to know what makes you happy, because I feel like following that is what's going to lead you in the right direction. All right, so I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful. Pile number 3, you picked the pink opalite tower. Pile number 3, this is your reading. We pre-shuffle the oracle cards, have not looked at them. We are asking Spirit to communicate to you today what is calling for your attention, or who is calling for your attention. And if you are trying to gauge whether this is indeed your pile, I have asked that you come up with a person, place, thing, object, color, phrase, something here, word that you're going to see in order to confirm indeed this is your pile. Okay, or you could just lean in on your intuition, and if it feels it's resonating, then that can work as well. If you are drawn to more than one pile, it could very well be different aspects of a situation or your circumstance here in which Spirit's wanting to communicate. But we will take a look here at what Spirit wants to communicate in regards to who or what is calling for you right now. So we have the Urzuli with pay attention. Interesting. Urzuli, pay attention. Okay, we have Triton. Triton is Neptune's largest and most massive moon. On its surface, geysers and nitrogen gas gush up to 8 kilometers, which is 4.9 miles high. Triton is the only known large satellite that rotates in an opposite direction to its planet. This particularly indicates that it is probably a celestial object captured by Neptune and not a body that formed at the same time. Interesting. All right, we have the Lover, number 17, or the number 8. The Lover. We have the Despicable Face, 48, or the number 12, or the number 3 could be significant. Okay. All right. We have spirit guides, insight, guidance, and purpose. Beautiful eagle. We have the miser, stubbornness and inflexibility. We have safe travel. Looks like a tidal wave and then a dove. Okay, safe travel. The journeyer. Interesting, safe travel, the journeyer. Reminds you of an angel. Okay. We have the bridge and a rainbow here with this Oracle abstract card. And we also have two people on a bench here. Okay. Let's pull some tarot. Pull some tarot. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3. What is calling for their attention, or who is calling for their attention right here, right now? This timeless reading is calling for their attention. Thank you so, so much, Spirit. Please protect me and pile number 3 as I channel this message. And thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. All right, so what do we have? We have the Tower, and Spirit's wanting them all upright for this reading. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Judgment. Wow, I'm going to pull one more here. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. Did I say Knight of Pentacles? I meant Nine of Pentacles. Sorry, I don't know what I said there. Okay, and the Knight of Wands. Okay. Give me a second here. Okay. So, I feel like this one could very well be around a relationship, okay? And if not, try to put this into context if you're in a situation where you're feeling a little bit like you can't move forward and you can't move away from. Okay, so it could be a person, a relationship, so what I'm feeling, but maybe it's a job, maybe it's a situation here in which you're unable to go in any direction. You almost feel hostage a little bit here, you know, and it could be you're feeling hostage here. And what I feel like Spirit is really saying is that there's a need for forward movement. I was getting Chariot from this. I know this is Despicable Face, but just because Chariot came up for me, okay? So I did see it, and with Safe Travels and Journeyer, I feel like something's about to give you the opportunity to move forward. And you might be released from something here. And I think what needs your attention here is, well, we have pay attention here, and then we also have insight, guidance, purpose, and the stubborn inflexibility. I think that there is something here that's either going to release you spontaneously or something unexpected here in which then you are free to decide. And I feel like you might be fixated on something here due to maybe some sort of stubbornness or some sort of idea here that I feel you might be not being honest. Okay, you might not be honest with yourself, and I feel like this happens once you're put in a situation here where you're being asked to be honest, where you're being asked to look at a situation here in which then moving forward would be an active choice, or breaking away and moving on would be an active choice as well. So I do feel like there is this opportunity for you to act here and to do the right thing for yourself, because I do feel like there's something here about, I don't feel you trust yourself. Okay, I don't feel you fully trust yourself for some reason, and it could be different for all of you guys. So maybe this has been holding you back, and maybe this is just how you've been for some time here. So it's created this stubbornness, you know, and your inflexibility. And I feel like when push comes to shove, you're going to come to a point where you're going to have to be completely honest with the situation, and you're either going to have to move forward, but you're going to have to find success one way or another. And I do feel like ego could be involved here as well, okay? And I do feel it is in a connection here with the lover and these two people. You could be called to make a decision here to move forward and cross over to actively, yeah, like being committed here to a situation or a person or a situation, or releasing a situation here. So I think either which way, universe is calling you to break out of some sort of a limbo land here, okay, that you might have been in some time. And I feel like there's a message here about traveling to an unknown place here is scary, okay? Because I feel it is safe for you to be in a limbo land here and not have to actively move towards or decide something here. And I think it's been safe, but I feel like you're going to be called upon, if not already, because I don't feel this tower has happened yet. So either something is going to shock you in a way that you're going to then recognize that your actions here are either going to move you towards or away from something here. And I think you've been really focused on your own, what's in your own control up until now. And which is, you know, a good thing, although I feel it is a false sense of control. I feel like there's a false energy here about maybe what you're telling yourself or what you feel it is here that you're in control over, what you're actively doing. I don't think you recognize here that there is an inflexibility here in the way that you've been showing up, okay? And that there is a need for you to move. You know, and like I said, in either direction here, I feel like you're going to be given this opportunity with this tower moment, and you do have an opportunity to be successful here with this Six of Wands. But I do feel like maybe you are not quite sure, you know, how you'd be perceived, or you could very well be, you know, kind of in a state of allowing your ego to call the shots here. I feel like there's a need to get very honest with yourself. I feel like there's some insight here that I feel you do have. I feel you're being guided, and I do feel like you're seeing a greater purpose here. So you need to be very aware of what you're deciding, actively deciding, and where you're moving towards, actively, consciously making these decisions. Okay, because I feel like there's something about being in limbo, there's something about not actively, consciously acting on some insight here that you have, and I feel like it's kind of like putting on some sort of a show, or being on display, or being in this limbo thing and putting up some sort of charade or something like this, okay? Maybe you've been playing the role of a lover here, but there's a need to get really honest. There's a need to get really deep. There's a need to cross over to a different side. And I don't know that you have yet, due to some sort of thing you're telling yourself. Okay. Or again, this miser card is giving me somebody who might have been just kind of comfortable in whatever state, and unable to move in any direction, and being kind of held, Yeah, so I think you're being pushed out of that, whether you're actively doing it yourself. I don't think so. I think you're going to be in a situation here in which, you know, the circumstances are going to call for you to move, and you'll know it. So, yeah. You are safely protected here. You're being guided for sure. I mean, the journeyer here doesn't really know what to expect, but I feel like you're going to be called to either cross this bridge, but be very aware here with the pay attention, because what I think Spirit is saying here is that you might be really in a state that you've been in for some time, that when this tower happens, you might be in a state of in denial, and you might not act. You might not think you need to act. You might just be kind of doing the same old here, but Spirit's really wanting you to call in judgment on a situation here, and this is a revelation that's going to change the forever situation here. So if you decide to not act, I mean, that's an act within itself, and I do feel like you might be missing an opportunity here, okay? Because I feel like the rainbow is not going to last forever. So even if you cross this bridge at some point, you know, I feel timing here is in play. Yeah, and so you got to pay attention to your gut and pay attention to when you're supposed to be really moving forward here with something. Let's see. That's a strong message. So we'll ask the Spirit for some more. Get some more for pile number 3. Okay, well, we had these kind of fly out. Spirit wants them upright. We have the 5 of Swords, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and we have the 7 of Wands. I do feel 2 more. 2 more, Spirit. We have this Queen of Cups that just kind of flipped around. And 1 more. This Queen of Wands. Interesting. 2 queens here. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. I feel like this is the despicable face. Like, I feel like you've been in a state of maybe not really allowing yourself to open yourself up to something here that I think is speaking to your heart, okay? You've been kind of playing it nonchalant or kind of cool here, maybe self-sabotaging, or in a situation here of 5 of Swords where nobody wins. So we could just be, you know, kind of sabotaging ourselves, or situations that are unpleasant for everyone involved here because somebody isn't maybe being their honest self, or allowing themselves to love deeply, give love, receive love, or again, if this isn't in a partnership, then maybe chase up a creative thing here that really speaks to them, and pretend or say something here. And I feel this could result in an end, okay? We saw the Tower, this being the 5 of Swords, but we see 10 swords here, okay? 10 of Swords is an ending, a painful ending, and I feel like being in a 5 of Swords may lead to a 10 of Swords, in which we're going to have to act, because I feel there's an ending here. 10 is also about an ending, okay? And I feel it's a situation, again, for some of you guys in a relationship that could be long-term. Like the 10 of Pentacles is the marriage, you know, coming together, building a family here that's going to stand the test of time. A legacy or retirement, you know, a family home here. And look at these 2 people, they're fairly old and they're sitting on a bench, okay? So I feel like there's something here about a long-term commitment, okay? And if it's not in a relationship, then it's like a job here that we're dedicating ourselves, or a creative pursuit here, because we're lying to ourselves, staying in another situation potentially, or being in limbo rather than committing to this. And I feel like there's something that's going to, you know, happen with the Tower here because of a 5 of Swords situation in which we haven't been honest, or we created conflict, and it jeopardizes this 10 of Pentacles because we've been defensive. You know, we've been defensive, and maybe we haven't been allowing ourselves to fight for something here, and it's been made available, I feel, but I feel like you haven't been allowing yourselves to move towards it. And I feel like the Tower is now, you're having to fight for something here, okay? But I feel like you're on a higher ground with the 7 of Wands, means you're in a position to, you know, win here. But I feel like, you know, maybe up until now, you really haven't had to fight. You've just been in a situation in kind of limbo land, in this kind of a state of stubbornness or inflexible, not moving either which way. But I feel like because of something here that causes a tower, it jeopardizes your ability here for long-term type commitment, in which you're now needing to fight for, which is not ideal, because I don't feel like you are needing to fight. And this is the journey. I feel like that, you know, with the safe travel, I feel like this is saying you're in a position to win. You know, here's the high tide. So I feel like something is coming in. This is the tower, you know, but you could turn around and go the other way, but I don't feel you want to. Because I feel like that would be not in line with your truth. I feel like you'd be lying to yourself, which you know, you may do here, but that's what is calling for your attention, is that do you want to lie to yourself here? I don't think you do, but I feel like maybe you have been, or maybe this is allowing you to stay in this limbo position. Yeah, playing it safe and keeping, you know, you hostage here. I feel there's a deep sense of love here and passion. And I do feel like the Queen of Wands doesn't really move forward. She kind of pulls things in towards her. So maybe you were able to manifest and pull something in towards you, you know, but I think it came towards you, and I don't think you acted. I think you stayed in limbo, and you might have been there for quite some time and developed some sort of an energy here which wasn't allowing things to move. So the biggest thing Spirit is saying here is there's going to be movement one way or another with the tower, where things just, you know, things that were built on shaky ground fall apart. You can't stay in a state of limbo, and you're going to have to be called to be honest with your heart. Okay, this is chasing up on what you love, or your deep passion here and desire, and again, this is, you know, your intuition telling you something here that speaks to your heart, and we can pretend, you know, or talk ourselves out of it. But I feel there is an insight here with your intuition that you know where you're being called towards, you know, and you cannot stay in a Five of Swords, because that does lead to an ending here. Okay, and I don't think anyone wants to fight, but I feel like you're going to have to really step up here, you know, if this tower happens, because there is going to be really your only option here, something with long-term stability, you know, a long-term relationship or some sort of a commitment here, because the rainbow to me is that 10 of Cups as well. So it's like two people coming together to build a family, to build a future. So let's look at final words here for pile number 3. What is the final guidance, final words? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now in regards to what is calling, or who is calling for their attention? Final words, Spirit, to wrap up for pile number 3. We have the Devil, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Wands. Again, we know Spirit wanted us to read them in the upright, but I don't think it matters all that much, because I think the message here is just there's something that's holding you back. We were saying you weren't moving forward and you weren't releasing. So that's a Devil type energy, okay? Where we're in a toxic pattern, we're in a toxic behavior, we're not allowing ourselves to move, okay? So this is what I was feeling, was you were held back by not moving forward, essentially, okay? But you were also not allowing yourself to move on in one way or another. So I feel like there's a Devil energy here that I feel needs to be released. You need to break out of a Devil energy, okay? And the Devil energy will allow you to make a decision here, which I think impacts your future stability. I do feel like for a lot of you guys, it is a family situation here, you know, stability, a long-term commitment, planning for your future, your retirement, something that is stable and long-term. But you're going to have to go after, the Page of Wands goes after what they want, okay? The Page of Wands is all about chasing up on an opportunity that they're passionate about, you know, and going down that path and making that choice and having that, you know, making that first step and communicating this. So I think it's just that one little step here that is needing to be called upon, you know, which will free you from a Devil, because I feel like maybe you're thinking you're having to have a big plan to get right to the 10 of Pentacles, or come to end game, but I feel like what Spirit is really saying in this final message is you just need to be this Page of Wands, which is somebody, you know, pages are all about the beginning stages, somebody who is in their early stages of understanding. They don't quite know everything yet. They're still learning, you know, but they're excited and they're following their passion. So I feel like maybe you've been inflexible up until now, or living a facade of sorts, or being stubborn, or not allowing yourself to really chase up what you're wanting, you know, and you're gonna have to decide to move one way or another. You can no longer stay in this kind of limbo land state where you're kind of, you know, in a cozy type position. I feel here cozy because you haven't been, you know, you're still kind of, I don't know, in some sort of toxic pattern here, which is allowing you to stay in the vicinity of something here. But I feel like you can no longer keep it for later. Like, I feel like you have to cross this bridge, and this rainbow is, you know, has a lifespan. So I feel like if you don't cross the bridge, you know, one way or another, yeah, you might miss out on an opportunity here. So this is what Spirit is saying, is calling for your attention. So, and now that we're hearing it right here, right now, I mean, if you're not having to fight for it, or the tower hasn't happened, then if you know what this is about, you might want to be proactive, you know, because I do sense a tower, and I do sense an ending looming here, in which then you're going to be maybe in a state of fight or flight, having to fight for something here. But I feel like you might be in a state still of not recognizing when this happens, you know. So I feel like your message is probably the loudest out of the three here, because I do feel like there's something blinding you right now, or an energy that you are in this devil energy. Oops. Okay. And it's so heavy that I think when the tower happens, there might be an in denial, or there might still not be an action. And the further you allow this tower to, the time distance between tower falling and you acting or moving, I think limits your options. Then you'll only be left with really one option here, and that's for you to move in one direction. And I don't think it's the optimal direction. I don't think it's the one that's going to provide you with the most stability here and the greatest level of commitment for your future. I feel like it's one in which you're not really wanting, but you might be kind of using, you know, as a safe place, as a safe comfort zone here, you know, and it's not going to make you feel good. I don't feel it's going to make you feel good. I think you've either outstayed that welcome, or you no longer want to be there, which is why you're kind of in this middle land. You know, you're in this middle land because I feel like intuitively you're being given some insight here. You're being given this purpose. You're being called to this purpose here, to follow something here, and I don't think you followed all the way. So you do have an opportunity here, and I don't feel it's too late just yet. Okay, and I mean, I don't usually say things are too late, but I do feel like with this pay attention, like, you're getting enlightened here. You're getting, you know, downloads here. You're getting guided by Spirit. You're being guided. So if you're being guided and you already know, I have a feeling you're not acting. You're not moving. You're just kind of knowing and sitting here in a state of knowing, but maybe again in denial, or saying something else, or your actions aren't in line with your knowing because you're being stubborn or inflexible, or for whatever your reason is here. Okay, so I think I'm repeating myself, and I don't want to waffle here on this, so I will let you guys go. Beautiful pile number 3. I love you guys very, very much. I hope this helped you, and leave a comment, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye.